can turn the world on with a smile. You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's your girl and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, don't need to fake it. You can never down, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, March 14th, and Marc has 481 days left to go in his U.S. prison sentence. And Marc has a new blog up at cannabisculture.com and freemark.ca where he writes about his friend Daniel, who was taken to the hospital, you may have heard in my recent shows, with the MRSA infection, and he could have possibly lost his leg or even worse, but thankfully he got taken to the hospital and had the surgeon come in and had 4 IVs in his hands and his arms, and hopefully that's been taken care of. And I got to meet Daniel and his mother and his son at my last visit with Marc, and he's definitely not looking the greatest, but at least he was taken care of, and I think it's just because Marc and all of our supporters were able to bring attention to that. But you can read all about it in the blog at cannabisculture.com and freemark.ca. And Marc has a prison concert this weekend on Saturday. He has his 13th concert, and he's been practicing hard for that. And I've got 2 new photos that came in of Marc with his best friend and his teacher, Terry, who is playing the guitar here. So I've got these 2 pictures of Marc and Terry's the lead guitarist in the band Yazoo, and Marc's best friend. So that's them both on the guitars that they use, and we've got a whole bunch of photos on the way of the entire band all playing their instruments together, which is something that Marc lobbied for and got permission to get. So we'll have a band poster put together, and Marc wants to have those available for people to get copies of. So that's what's keeping him entertained and keeping him optimistic while he's in there. So it's great to get those pictures and see him having that fun. And I'll be visiting him next weekend. I'll be going down there after his 13th concert performance. So wish him luck. He's doing a lot of the more difficult songs, and so he wants to get a lot of practice in. So we have a special guest here in town this week. I just had a brief moment to say hello, but Mason Tvert from Colorado and Amendment 64 campaign to legalize marijuana. He is here in town supporting the Sensible BC referendum campaign by our friend Dana Larson. So tonight Mason is speaking at a Sensible BC panel in Burnaby at Simon Fraser University, and then tomorrow night he's going to be speaking out in Coquitlam. And you can get the information about when and where these events take place at sensiblebc.ca. And also coming up next Wednesday on the 20th, first there's a Stop the Violence BC event that I was invited to at St. Paul's Hospital, which is in my election riding, and Dr. Evan Wood and Stop the Violence BC are talking about drug addiction and harm reduction and different efforts to change drug policy, but I won't be able to make it to that event because I'm going to be participating on a Sensible BC panel out in Langley. And Langley is very conservative. Marc ran for office out there quite a few years ago, made a bit of controversy out there, but I'll be going to speak on the panel about why decriminalizing marijuana, which is the most we can do, we can't legalize it under our referendum process, but we can at least tell the cops not to arrest people for possession, and that's what I'll be speaking about next Wednesday, the 20th. So check out sensiblebc.ca for that information, and I'll be sharing updates on Twitter and Facebook and wherever else on our websites. So thanks for everyone out there supporting Sensible BC, and this is a really exciting effort we have coming up in September through November to get the signatures to put it on the ballot next year. Now, I have the draw I'm going to do now. I know there's a bunch of other news out there, but still feeling a bit under the weather. I was sick over the weekend with a terrible flu that's been going around, but feeling a bit better today. So just going to try and keep getting healthier. But the draw last week, I showed we've got posters that were signed by Marc in 2009 before he spent his first little stint in prison on this whole event, this whole schmozzle. And Marc signed a bunch of posters, and we have a few copies. So the winner of this week's draw is going to get that poster and the Free Marc stickers and the Free Marc button and the Free Marc t-shirt. As usual, always sending these out. And we've got great deals, lots of t-shirts on sale at the Cannabis Culture Headquarters store. So I've got the names of last week's entries in the bubble bag here. And the winner for this week, the poster, is going to be Matthew C. And you are a regular watcher of the show. I know you are. And so you are the winner this week. Thanks for watching and sending in your entry. And for next week's show, I'll do the t-shirt and the stickers and the pin. And you can enter by sending an email to jodie@cannabisculture.com. And maybe I'll throw in a little extra goodie if I find something around here. And send a letter to Marc if you'd like. He's coming up to the point where he can submit his application to be transferred in the beginning of April. It's under a month now until that can go into the U.S. Department of Justice. So if you would like to send a quick letter of endorsement for Marc, you can do that by sending it to the Department of Justice prisoner transfer chief of that office. I'll put the information down below, and you can find it in Marc's recent blogs at freemarc.ca and cannabisculture.com. And hopefully he'll get an approval as soon as possible and get sent home at the end of this year if we get Canadian government approval. But that will certainly take some lobbying, and we'll be doing more of that in the months to come. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hopefully next week I'll be feeling a little more enthusiastic. But I appreciate you guys all watching the show and sending in your messages and support. And we'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned at cannabisculture.com for all the news you can use, and pot.tv for our live weekly shows and a lot more content getting uploaded all the time. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.